Okay, so if you have been following the video, please do not forget to subscribe, share, and definitely like. Let's move down to convert the first formula we obtained right here, right? We just like to remind you of this formula right now. This formula is to convert between degree centigrade scale, right? The relationship between the degree centigrade scale and the Fahrenheit scale. I can use this to convert centigrade to this, and I can use it to convert this to this. Depends on the value that is definitely given right now. But that is just the relationship between the two. So should it be in this case, I can move this up a little bit right now. And how can I do that? Let us try to convert between Kelvin and centigrade scale. So I'm going to do that by taking right now, I want to convert the degrees centigrade. That is, I'm looking for the relationship between the Celsius or the centigrade scale, right, and the Kelvin scale. So we're trying to look for the relationship between the that's a mix up there and the Kelvin scale. I mean, so we're trying to look for the relationship between the Celsius scale and the Kelvin scale. To look out for the relationship, which is the formula that is going to put them together, we can do that, of course, right away. To do that, we need to bring the scale of Celsius and Kelvin together. So let's go ahead and do the same thing. Okay, so here are the two scale in this case. Now that we've been able to draw the two scale, I hope you have done the same. Right now, I want to remind you of how we definitely prove the first relationship. Let us take some steps back. Did you remember that this container contains a particular warm or hot liquid? And what we did inside this container, right, was we used a Celsius thermometer scale, right, and also a Fahrenheit thermometer scale. Let us change these two around. Instead of using a Fahrenheit thermometer scale, we can definitely use a Kelvin thermometer scale, right? And in that case, we can get back here, right, and think about the same thing right now. So let us assume in this case right now, when we dip our thermometer, which is graduated in Kelvin, into the hot liquid, it definitely read X Kelvin. And when we dip our, our Celsius, our thermometer, which is graduated in centigrade or Celsius, into the hot content or warm content, this now read definitely they are almost equivalent. Trying to make sure they're of the same height. That read, should we call it Y, right? Degree Celsius. We can definitely say that. That's good. Y degree, or we can make this Y base C, right? Now, in that case, we'll have to use the same principle we used earlier before, right? And that's going to be xk minus 273. And that'll be xk minus, cutting across, minus 273. And that to be divided by 373 minus 273. 373 minus 273. And this will be equal to, in this case, yc minus 0, because, right, divided by 100 minus 0. Right? And if I do that in this case, trying to move this a little bit up, sk minus 273 is still going to be the same, and that could not cancel out anything. And that should be divided by 373 minus 273. That is definitely going to give you 100. And this should be equal to yc minus 0. And that's still going to be yc. And that's over 100 minus 0, that will be 100. Now I can make some principle work out for me here, right, in this case. So what principle can I make here to work out for me? The principle I can make to work out for me here in this case is, let's try to just divide the board, because here still not want to go a little bit far. Let us try to use this 100 in this case to multiply that reference, and that's going to be 100. Do that again. That'll be 100 multiplied by this value, which is sk minus 273, right? And that will be equivalent to the 100 in this case multiplied by the yc, right? And just looking at the two side of the equation, you will notice that this 100 cancel out that 100, and of course you get sk minus 273 to definitely be equal to, on this side, yc. Did you see that? So in this scale of reference, I could say that yc equal to, right, sk minus 273, and that is the relationship between the Celsius scale and the Kelvin scale. So if I want to convert between Celsius scale and Kelvin scale, I can definitely do this. And this is a very simple formula to kind of always know, because it is one of the most basic one out of all of them. The Celsius equal to the Kelvin value minus 273. In this case, I can make some gesture. If the Celsius value in this case is 40 degrees Celsius, what will be the answer in Kelvin scale? We can try to solve this out, right? And that will be the Celsius scale will be 40 degrees Celsius, and that will be equal to the sk minus negative 273. If I try to solve this across, as my 273 toggle that way, and we're going to be getting 40 degrees Celsius, right, plus 273, and that will be equal to sk. And the sk in this case is going to be 273 plus 40 degrees, and that will give us our sk to be 313 Kelvin. There we go. So this is a very basic rule to convert between Celsius and Kelvin scale. In the next video, we'll be looking at how we can relate the Kelvin scale and the Fahrenheit scale. You can go ahead and look for that before you watch the next video. Once again, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe.